Union fury as 3,000 CityLink employees face the prospect of starting 2015 without a job. Tonight, the business secretary vows to mediate as one union official tells ITV News the timing of the announcement is unforgivable.
Pulling the plug on this company over Christmas is nothing short of disgusting.
Also on the programme, remembering 250,000 lives lost 10 years on from the Asian tsunami. Boxer Amir Khan makes good a promise to help rebuild the Pakistan school targeted in a Taliban massacre. And no Boxing Day blues for Chelsea as the league leaders win again.
This is ITV News with Steve Scott.
Good evening. The Business Secretary Vince Cable has tonight offered to step in to the growing row between the parcel delivery firm CityLink and almost 3,000 of its employees who have been told their jobs are at risk. The company slipped into administration on Christmas Eve, but some staff only found out on Christmas Day they may no longer have a job. One union official called the timing of the announcement disgraceful. From the firm's headquarters in Coventry, Richard Paolo reports.
They are allowing the odd truck into CityLink's main Coventry depot. We were not as welcome, as were not a handful of the company's 3,000 staff, now facing uncertainty and unemployment after only hearing the news on Christmas Day.
I wasn't sure if I was hearing right. I thought it can't be true. You know, we're doing quite well. We've invested a lot into the company with the new machinery and things like that. You know, so I didn't think it was at all possible that.
Here at CityLink, we'll help your business deliver anything to any customer, anywhere.
Not anymore, it would appear. Rumours have circulated for more than a month that the company would only trade until the lucrative Christmas deliveries were done and their profits maximised.
The timing of it is absolutely disgusting. The way to treat workers, it was really bang out of order what CityLink have done, and John Bolton and the Better Capital for pulling the plug on this company over Christmas. It's nothing short of disgusting.
But tonight, the Business Secretary Vince Cable has said he will meet the unions in the new year to see if anything can be done to avoid administration. But with major retailer John Lewis, one of the company's biggest clients, saying they've already found other carriers for all their business, CityLink's future remains bleak. All operations have now been suspended until Monday, when customers can collect their own parcels from one of the many depots. But as for saving those jobs, it does seem likely that the delivery drivers will only be picking up their redundancy notices come the new year. Richard Paolo, ITV News in Coventry.
10 years ago today, the lives of almost 250,000 people were cut short by the devastating Asian tsunami. To mark the anniversary, survivors and relatives of those who were killed gathered at memorial services to mourn the moment a giant wave changed their lives forever. Sue Saville reports.
Services of remembrance have been held across the countries bordering the Indian Ocean, where 10 years ago today, a wall of water stole some 230,000 lives and made millions homeless. An underwater earthquake measuring 9.1 on the Richter scale created a tsunami, sending waves over 20 metres high crashing onto the shores. Villages, fishermen, holidaymakers all perished. In Banda Aceh in Indonesia, 44% of the population were killed. The visible devastation of that day has been repaired, but the memories are fresh. The Indonesian vice president was among those paying their respects at the memorial for 46,000 people buried there. The area has now built an early warning siren system and high-rise evacuation buildings with helicopter pads in case of another such disaster. But in India, fishing communities are still struggling to rebuild their lives and want more help.
Before it's too late and we experience the same again, we need to put everybody together, and some good resources need to be invested to make sure they are prepared well when it strikes next time.
Among the many nations who lost tourists in the tsunami was Britain. The Prime Minister paid this tribute, saying, "Today we think of those for whom Boxing Day is no longer a happy festive celebration, but the day they lost a loved one in the Indian Ocean tsunami. At this poignant time, my prayers are with all those remembering people who were caught up in the disaster, including the 151 British nationals who lost their lives." In Sri Lanka, a train set off at exactly the same time a passenger rail journey began 10 years ago. That train was washed away with huge loss of life. Relatives today made their pilgrimage along the same route. Sue Saville, ITV News.
Two men charged with murdering 2 British tourists in Thailand will go on trial in July. The suspects, both Burmese nationals, deny the killings. They had confessed, but later said their testimony was obtained under duress. The bodies of Hannah Witheridge and David Miller were found on a beach on the island of Koh Tao in September. The Archbishop of Canterbury is resting at home after being diagnosed with pneumonia. The Most Reverend Justin Welby had to cancel his Christmas Day sermon due to the illness. Lambeth Palace has tweeted a thank you to the public for their prayers and good wishes for the Archbishop's health. Microsoft and Sony say their online gaming services are now restored after they were attacked by hackers. Thousands of Xbox and PlayStation users complained after they couldn't access their accounts over Christmas. Hacking group Lizard Squad said they carried out the attack. And thousands of rail passengers face disruption tomorrow as overrunning engineering works has led to all services in and out of King's Cross being cancelled. A reduced service will be running on Sunday. A spokesman for Network Rail said the situation was regrettable and unfortunate. Heavy snow has been falling over large parts of the UK tonight. The Midlands has already been hit, with forecasters also warning of ice and freezing temperatures that could mean widespread travel disruption. The Met Office has increased its alert level from yellow to amber, the second highest warning for the Midlands and the north of England. Liverpool's John Lennon Airport was briefly closed as its runway had to be cleared. 5 flights were diverted to nearby Manchester Airport. A full weather forecast follows this programme. The British boxer Amir Khan is in Pakistan and has been meeting relatives of some of the 132 children killed by terrorists in a Peshawar school 10 days ago. Today, he described the attack as sickening and has offered to help rebuild the school. Danny Crawshaw reports.
Amir Khan is used to fighting in a sport with rules and in the spirit of fair play. The fight against the Pakistani Taliban has none of those things. But the British boxer is determined to do what he can to help.
Kids are really scared to go back to school again. So they really need a bit of a confidence boost now, to say, look, you have to go back to school, and hopefully they go back to normal life.
Khan promised to visit Pakistan after the devastating attack on a military-run school in Peshawar. 141 innocent people were shot dead by the Taliban. 132 of them were children. He announced his plans to help rebuild the school after his successful title defence against Devon Alexander, and donated to the school the £30,000 shorts he wore in the fight in Las Vegas.
I have never donated any of my fight shorts to anyone. I've never given them out. So I decided to donate my last fight shorts against Alexander to Peshawar, and to rebuild the school and also increase security around that area. I'm going to build a few gyms up here. I want to, I'm getting some help from the government as well, and hopefully we can start boxing over here.
Over the next few days, the 2-time world champion will visit the school and meet the hundreds of families directly affected by the Taliban's actions. He says it's the least he can do to repair a community ripped apart by terrorism. Danny Crawshaw, ITV News.
Millions of shoppers across the UK have spent Boxing Day hunting for bargains, with analysts predicting a sales bonanza approaching £750 million. Some braved the cold and the crowds, queuing on the high street from the early hours. Many others chose to do their sales shopping online. Among the most sought-after items today were handbags, electrical goods and children's clothing.
The crowds are getting bigger and bigger each year, albeit we had great reaction online as well. The customers still want to come in and bag their bargain.
Sport and Boxing Day proved profitable for those teams near the top of the Premier League table. Leaders Chelsea put in a classy performance to beat West Ham, while Manchester United and Arsenal also won. Isla Glaister reports.
Chelsea are certainly living up to their top of the table status. John Terry gave them the lead against West Ham, who were outclassed from the start.
Here's Costa.
And Diego Costa added another with a marvellous individual effort in the second half. Final score Chelsea 2, West Ham 0, and no sign of festive fatigue for the Blues. Manchester United looked pretty sprightly too against Newcastle. Wayne Rooney scored twice, the first from a breakaway move he also started. And Rooney also had a hand in goal number 3, timing his pass perfectly for Robin van Persie. A Newcastle penalty made the final score 3-1, but Manchester United's victory was never in doubt. The same can't be said for Arsenal's win over QPR. Alexis Sanchez gave them the lead, but then Olivier Giroud sending off for retaliation left them a man down.
And right in front of the referee, who was...
Thomas Rosicky, though, gave Arsenal some breathing space before a late QPR penalty made it a nervous finish. But they held on, just. Final score Arsenal 2, QPR 1. Isla Glaister, ITV News.
In today's other games, Liverpool, Southampton, Stoke, Spurs and Hull all won away from home. Swansea beat Aston Villa. Second-placed Manchester City also picked up an away win 3-1 at West Brom. Silvia Narco Conti has defended the King George VI chase at Kempton. Noel Feely rode the pre-race favourite to victory by 4.5 lengths. Conti becomes the 14th horse to win the festive race twice. And finally, how's this for a very special package delivered on Christmas Day? A baby born on the Philadelphia subway. Sergeant Daniel Cabin and Officer Darrell James rushed to help after receiving a call on their police radios. They forced their way through a crowd of passengers that had also rushed to the new mum's aid. Mother and baby were both taken to hospital and are said to be doing just fine, although there is no word yet on a name. And that is it from me and all the Boxing Day team. Bye-bye.
Worcester Bosch sponsors ITV National Weather.
Hello again. Well, it's certainly going to feel very wintry as we head overnight. We've got wintry showers and snowfall in places and also problems of ice too. So weather warnings are in force. Do be aware of that. So for tomorrow morning, it's a frosty and an icy start to the day at first. Still some snowfall affecting eastern areas, although this will move out of the way. But then we have got some more wintry showers moving their way southwards throughout the afternoon. So it is a mixture of sunny spells and scattered wintry showers and feeling pretty chilly out there too. We're looking at highs in the north of around 3 or 4 degrees, but in the southwest we could get up to 7. Now by the time we get to Sunday, still a chance of 1 or 2 wintry showers, but for most of us it will become drier with some lovely winter sunshine, but it is remaining on the cool side. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
A warm outlook. Worcester Bosch sponsors ITV National Weather.